Right now, even if your life looks stuck, even if nothing seems to be moving, heaven is not silent. God is working behind what you can see, and He is about to change everything. You may feel like you've been walking in the same circle, praying the same prayers, waiting for the same answers, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means God is lining up something bigger than you imagine. There are moments in life when God shifts you not gently, but suddenly, one phone call, one opportunity, one divine interruption. And what took years of waiting will change in seconds. That is how God moves. He doesn't always work in slow progress. Sometimes He works in powerful leaps. What you are facing right now is not meant to defeat you. It is meant to develop you. God allows pressure because pressure produces power. You are being strengthened for a level you've never walked in before. If the enemy is attacking your peace, it's because your peace is about to become your testimony. Some doors had to close, some people had to leave, some plans had to fall apart, not because you failed, but because God is protecting what's coming. You cannot carry the old into the new season. God is clearing space for something better. There are prayers you whispered when you were tired, broken, and desperate. You thought God didn't hear you, but heaven recorded every tear. And now God is responding. The delay was not rejection. It was preparation. God is rearranging your life right now. He is moving the wrong people out. He is shifting your position. He is aligning your steps with divine purpose. What feels uncomfortable is actually God pushing you toward destiny. The reason you survived what should have destroyed you is because you were never meant to stay there. God kept you because He's about to use you. Your pain will become your platform. Your struggle will become your story. Do not fear the change that's coming. It's not here to hurt you. It's here to elevate you. God doesn't just fix situations. He transforms lives. Before God changes your situation, He always changes you. Every major breakthrough in your life is preceded by a season of stretching, pruning, and deep inner work. That season you are in right now, the one that feels uncomfortable, uncertain, and even painful, is not random. It is divine preparation. God is training your heart and sharpening your faith and strengthening your spirit for what He is about to release into your life. When God is about to elevate you, He increases the weight you can carry. He builds patience when you want speed. He teaches humility when you desire recognition. He strengthens your trust when everything around you looks unstable. That is because what's coming requires a stronger version of you. The blessing will be bigger, the responsibility heavier, and the impact greater, so God makes sure you are ready before He allows the shift to happen. Many people think the waiting season is wasted time, but in God's hands, waiting is never empty. Waiting is where character is formed. Waiting is where motives are purified. Waiting is where you learn to walk by faith instead of sight. God knows that if He gave you everything too soon, it could destroy you instead of bless you. So He works quietly, carefully shaping behind the scenes. Look at how God works throughout life. Before a promotion comes pressure. Before a breakthrough comes resistance. Before a new level comes discomfort. That is not because something is wrong. It is because something is being built. God is aligning your thoughts, healing old wounds, removing fear, and replacing doubt with confidence so that when the shift happens, you will be able to stand in it without collapsing. Every challenge you face right now is part of that preparation. Every delay is strengthening your endurance. Every closed door is teaching you discernment. God is not stalling, He is structuring. He is making sure that when He finally opens the door no one can shut, you will have the wisdom, maturity, and faith to walk through it and stay there. Pressure is never comfortable, but it is always purposeful. When God is about to release something powerful in your life, the resistance around you increases. That heaviness you feel, that sense of being stretched beyond what you thought you could handle, is not a sign that you are losing. It is a sign that something is about to be born. Just like a seed must be pressed into the ground before it can grow, you are being pushed into a place where growth is unavoidable. The enemy never fights what has no future. The reason you are experiencing so much pressure is because your destiny is under attack. You are standing on the edge of a new level, and opposition always shows up right before elevation. If nothing was coming, nothing would be resisting you. But the intensity of what you're facing now is proof that something valuable is about to break through. Pressure reveals what is inside you. It brings out your faith, your strength, your perseverance. God uses pressure to remove weakness, doubt, and fear so that what remains is unshakable confidence in Him. Every tear you've cried, every night you've stayed awake, every moment you felt like quitting, God has been using it all to build you into someone who can carry a greater blessing. Sometimes you wonder why things became harder right when you started praying more, believing more, and trusting God deeper. That's because you are closed. Pressure is not a punishment. It is a signal. It means heaven is moving. It means something in the spiritual realm is shifting in your favor. Diamonds are not formed in comfort. They are formed under extreme pressure. In the same way, the person you are becoming right now is being shaped by what you are enduring. When the breakthrough finally arrives, you will realize that the pressure was not there to destroy you. It was there to define you. When God takes longer than you expected, it is easy to think He has said no. But in God's kingdom, delay is often His greatest act of love. He is not withholding your blessing. He is arranging everything so that when it comes, it arrives at the right time, in the right way, and with the right people involved. God sees the whole picture, not just the moment you are standing in. Many things have to line up before what you prayed for can happen. Hearts must be prepared. Doors must be opened. Wrong paths must be closed. God is not just answering your prayer. He is building the environment that will sustain your answer. If it came too early, it might fall apart. If it came without alignment, it could bring stress instead of peace. What feels like waiting is actually God working in places you cannot see. He is shifting circumstances, moving people, and adjusting timing so that everything connects at the exact moment it should. You might be ready, but maybe the opportunity isn't ready yet. You might be prepared, but the right connection might still be in motion. God's timing is not slow. It is precise. Delay also protects you. Some things you wanted before would have harmed you if they came when you first asked. God knows what you can handle now versus what you will be able to handle later. So He allows time to pass, not to frustrate you, but to mature you and protect you. Every moment of waiting is bringing things closer into perfect alignment. The blessing has not been canceled. The promise has not expired. Heaven is still working on your behalf, ensuring that when it happens in a way that brings lasting peace, stability, and purpose. When something leaves your life, it often feels like failure, rejection, or heartbreak. But many times, what you think you lost is actually something God removed so He could give you something greater. God never takes without intending to replace it with something that fits your future better than your past. If it walked away, broke apart, or disappeared, it was no longer aligned with where God is taking you. Sometimes God has to remove people who are too small for the destiny He placed inside you. He has to close doors that would have limited your growth. He has to break attachments that would have kept you stuck in old seasons. What feels painful is actually protection. God sees what you don't. He knows what would have held you back, distracted you, or drained you in the future. Loss creates space, and space is necessary for increase. You cannot receive what God is about to give if your hands are still full of what He is trying to remove. When you let go, sometimes willingly, sometimes through circumstances, you make room for peace, clarity, favor, and new opportunities. Many of the things you cried about losing would have become burdens if they stayed. God was saving you from settling. He was saving you from attachment to something that would have stopped your growth. The pain of letting go is temporary, but the freedom that follows is permanent. Before God releases a new level of favor, He usually changes your position. He shifts your environment, your relationships, your mindset, or your routine, because the place you are in now cannot hold the blessing He is about to give. What feels like disruption is actually divine direction. God is relocating you spiritually, emotionally, and sometimes physically, so you will be in the right place when the opportunity arrives. Many times you don't understand why things suddenly start changing, why certain doors close, why familiar things feel uncomfortable, why you no longer fit where you used to belong. That is because God is preparing you for something that does not exist in your old space. The old location, the old mindset, the old connections cannot support the future God has planned for you. God moves you out of what is familiar so He can lead you into what is fruitful. Comfort is not where growth happens. Expansion requires transition. Even when the move feels lonely, uncertain, or scary, God is guiding every step. You may feel like you are losing stability, but in reality, you are being positioned for greater stability than you have ever known. Sometimes the blessing is not late. You just had to be moved into the right place to receive it. God knows exactly where you need to be for favor to find you, for doors to open, and for purpose to unfold. Every shift you are experiencing right now is lining you up with what He has already prepared for you. Every time you pray, something moves in the unseen. Even when you don't feel anything change, even when nothing looks different, your words are being heard in heaven. God does not ignore sincere prayers. He responds by activating events, people, and opportunities that will eventually lead to the answer you've been asking for. What you prayed weeks ago, months ago, even years ago is still working on your behalf. Prayer is not just talking to God. It is releasing power. When you pray, you are inviting divine intervention into your situation. God begins to shift circumstances, soften hearts, open doors, and close the ones that would harm you. The process may be invisible, but the results will be undeniable. Sometimes the answer doesn't come instantly because God is doing more than giving you what you asked for. He is arranging things so that the blessing arrives with peace, stability, and longevity. He is making sure the outcome doesn't just help you for a moment, but changes your life for the better. Every prayer you whispered in fear, every cry you made in weakness, every moment you turned to God instead of giving up, all of it is building momentum. Heaven is moving pieces into place right now. What you are waiting to see in your life is already being prepared in the spiritual realm. When you start facing unexpected opposition, confusion, or heavy challenges, it is often a sign that you are approaching something significant. Resistance shows up when you are near a breakthrough because the enemy always tries to stop what God is about to release. If you were not close to something powerful, there would be no reason for anything to fight against you. The pressure you feel, the doubts that suddenly grow louder, the obstacles that appear out of nowhere, these are not coincidences. They are indicators that you are moving in the right direction. The closer you get to your purpose, the stronger the resistance becomes. Not because you are failing, but because you are threatening the forces that want to keep you stuck. God allows resistance to reveal your strength. Every challenge you push through is building your endurance, sharpening your faith, and proving to you that you are capable of more than you realize. What tries to block you is actually pushing you forward. When things suddenly feel harder, it does not mean you should stop. It means you should stand stronger. You are not being opposed because you are weak. You are being opposed because what is ahead of you carries power, purpose, and divine impact. There are moments when it feels like everything in your life is shifting at once. Relationships change. Environments no longer feel the same. Opportunities appear and disappear unexpectedly. This is not chaos. This is divine rearrangement. God is adjusting everything around you so it can match what He is about to do within you. What feels unstable is actually being aligned. God knows that not everyone who walked with you one season in one season can go with you into the next. Some people were meant to support your survival, not your growth. So God lovingly and sometimes painfully removes what no longer fits your future. He does not do this to hurt you, but to protect where He is taking you. Places also change. You may feel restless where you once felt comfortable. You may feel called to step out of old routines, old habits, or old spaces. That restlessness is God nudging you forward. He is guiding you toward environments that will stretch you, bless you, and allow you to flourish. Even opportunities are being repositioned. God is closing doors that would have limited you and opening ones that will elevate you. What you think you missed may actually be God saving you from something that would have drained you. Every shift is purposeful. Every change is intentional. Everything is being moved so you end up exactly where you need to be. Every time you choose to obey God, even when it's hard, even when it doesn't make sense, something shifts in your favor. Obedience is not just following instructions. It is an act of trust. When you keep doing the right thing in the middle of uncertainty, God sees it and He responds by opening doors you could never open on your own. Many blessings are not released through talent, connections, or effort alone. They are released through obedience. When you walk away from what God told you to leave, when you say yes to what He told you to do, when you remain faithful in seasons that feel unrewarded, you are positioning yourself for divine favor. Heaven honors obedience. Sometimes obedience feels like sacrifice. You may have to let go of comfort, pride, or control. You may have to take steps that seem risky, but those steps are never wasted. Each obedient decision is planting a seed that will grow into opportunity, peace, and breakthrough. God opens doors when He can trust your heart. He brings new levels when He knows you will walk in them with humility and faith. What you have been doing quietly, faithfully, and consistently is creating access to things you could not reach before. Every trial, every heartbreak, every setback you have faced was never meant to defeat you permanently. What felt like the end of the road, what made you doubt yourself, and what left you feeling hopeless was actually being used by God to build a story of victory. The very things that tried to crush your spirit are being transformed into the foundation of your testimony, a story that will inspire, encourage, and impact others. Pain has a purpose. Every struggle you endured was teaching you lessons that comfort and guide others who walk a similar path. The disappointments that seemed unbearable are now equipping you with wisdom, empathy, and resilience. God takes the broken pieces of your past and turns them into something beautiful, something that speaks of His faithfulness. Your struggles are not wasted. The people, situations, and circumstances that hurt you are part of a bigger plan. One day when you look back, you will see that what tried to destroy you was actually shaping you for a life of influence and testimony. That failure, that betrayal, that moment of despair, they will become the story of how God rescued you, elevated you, and made you stronger than before. Even the darkest moments in life are temporary. When God is in control, He turns sorrow into joy, defeat into victory, and shame into honor. The very battles that left scars on your heart are the same battles that will become the source of encouragement for others. God's ability to restore and redeem is greater than anything that ever tried to break you. Every tear you shed, every sleepless night, and every prayer whispered in desperation is part of a narrative that God is writing. A narrative that proves your pain was never pointless and that your story will shine as a testament to His power and love. A season is more than circumstances. It shapes your character, your perspective, and your faith. God uses seasons to prepare you for the level He wants you to walk into. Sometimes He allows a season of waiting, scarcity, or difficulty to strengthen your patience, deepen your trust, and increase your resilience. Other times, he allows a season of joy, favor, or blessing to teach you gratitude, stewardship, and humility. Every season has a purpose. When God transitions you into a new season, it often comes with unexpected shifts. People either enter your life, routines change, opportunities appear or disappear, and your priorities are realigned. It may feel uncomfortable at first because your mind and emotions are still adjusted to the old season. But that discomfort is a signal that God is leading you into a larger, richer, and more aligned phase of life. Seasons are also about timing. God does not just solve a problem, he waits until the perfect moment to move so that the new season aligns perfectly with his plan. He is orchestrating not only the outcome, but also the environment, the people, and the circumstances that will ensure your success in this new chapter. Every ending is a preparation for a beginning. Every challenge in the current season is a step toward maturity. And every blessing, favor, or victory that enters in the new season is a result of what God has been cultivating in you all along. This is why seasons are more than situations. They are divine transitions designed to take you higher than you could have imagined. When life feels difficult, when doors close unexpectedly, when relationships shift or opportunities are delayed, it's easy to feel like God is punishing you. But the truth is, what feels like punishment is often divine positioning. God is not trying to harm you. He is carefully arranging your life so that you are in the right place, at the right time, with the right people, ready for the next season of your destiny. Positioning requires patience. It may feel like stagnation, setbacks, or rejection, but God is using every moment to place you strategically. Sometimes he removes distractions, delays opportunities, or changes circumstances to make sure when the blessing comes, you are ready to receive it fully. What seems like a closed door today may actually be a step closer to the door God has prepared that no one can shut. Divine positioning is precise. God knows the perfect timing and the perfect environment for your breakthrough. He is orchestrating events behind the scenes, moving pieces into place and aligning situations so that when the shift happens, it will not only benefit you, but also serve his greater plan. You may not see it yet, but the invisible hand of God is guiding your path. Every uncomfortable situation, every challenge, and every season of waiting is a setup. God is using it to refine your character, test your faith, and expand your capacity. You are not being punished for mistakes or shortcomings. You are being prepared for elevation. What you perceive as delay or struggle is actually a critical step toward the fullness of God's plan for your life. Even in moments of confusion or disappointment, remember this: God never wastes a single step of your journey. Every trial, every twist, every turn is part of his master plan. You are not stuck. You are being strategically positioned to step into what he has already prepared for you. Faith is not static. It grows, evolves, and strengthens in preparation for what God is about to do. The challenges you are facing right now are not just obstacles. They are training grounds for a higher level of faith. God doesn't give out breakthroughs to the same level of faith that prayed for them months or years ago. He upgrades your trust, your patience, and your confidence so that when the blessing arrives, you are ready to receive it fully and walk in it with wisdom and boldness. Sometimes the delay, the pressure, and the tests are uncomfortable because they stretch you beyond what you thought was possible. God allows your faith to be tested so that it can be proven and refined. Just like gold is purified by fire, your belief in him is strengthened in times of waiting, uncertainty, and challenge. The stronger your faith, the greater the blessing you are prepared to handle. Faith upgrades also involve trust in unseen outcomes. God is training you to rely not on what you see, feel, or understand, but on his promises. He is showing you that his timing is perfect, his plan is flawless, and his power is greater than anything that seems to oppose you. As your faith grows, so does your ability to walk through storms without fear, to remain patient when delays come, and to stay joyful in the midst of trials. Your spiritual senses are being sharpened for a new level of insight, discernment, and revelation. God is preparing you to recognize opportunities, make decisions, and embrace assignments that require a maturity you didn't have before. Every test, every trial, and every moment of perseverance is a step in upgrading your faith to match the greatness of what's coming. When your faith reaches this upgraded level, miracles will become natural, favor will follow you consistently, and the promises God has spoken over your life will begin to manifest in ways that exceed your imagination. This process may feel long, difficult, or even unfair at times, but it is precisely what is needed to ensure that you are ready for the fullness of God's plan. Every struggle, every challenge, and every battle you face is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to prepare you for a greater blessing. What the enemy intends for harm, God can use for your good. The very situations that try to overwhelm you, that test your patience and shake your faith, are often the same situations that will become the foundation of your testimony. God specializes in turning what seems impossible into what is miraculous. When you face opposition, it is easy to focus on the pain, the disappointment, or the fear, but God sees beyond the struggle. He is working behind the scenes, orchestrating circumstances, softening hearts, and opening doors that will lead you into favor and abundance. The fight you are in is temporary. The reward is eternal. Every difficulty carries a seed of blessing that will grow in time. Battles refine you. They teach resilience, faith, and perseverance. They strip away fear, pride, and dependence on the temporary, while building endurance, courage, and reliance on God. What you endure today is equipping you to handle the responsibilities and opportunities that will come with the blessings God has prepared. Without the battle, the blessing would not be as powerful or as impactful. God's purpose in turning battles into blessings is also to give your life a story that inspires others. One day, the very struggles that seem unbearable will become your platform to encourage someone else, to share hope, and to demonstrate the power of God's faithfulness. You will see that nothing was wasted, that every trial had a divine purpose, and that the enemy's plan to harm you was transformed into a divine plan to elevate you. The key is to remain steadfast. Do not allow despair, frustration, or bitterness to take root. Keep trusting, keep believing, and keep moving forward, knowing that God is converting every tear, every setback, and every difficulty into favor, increase, and blessing beyond what you imagine. As we come to the end of this message, I want you here to hear this clearly. God is about to change everything in your life. The struggles you've endured, the delays you faced, the people and situations that seem to hold you back, none of it was in vain. Every moment of waiting, every tear, every challenge has been preparing you for the miraculous shift that is coming. Do not grow weary or lose hope. God's timing is perfect, His plan is flawless, and His love for you is unwavering. What feels impossible now is already being aligned for your good. What looks like the end is actually the beginning of something greater. Doors that were closed are about to open. Favor that you've been longing for is on its way. Peace that you've been searching for will finally settle in your heart. Remember, God never moves too late. He moves exactly when you're ready, and when the circumstances are perfectly aligned, He is working behind the scenes, orchestrating people, places, and opportunities so that when your breakthrough comes, it will surpass every expectation.